All right.
All right, everyone. Welcome to the How to Be Unpopular podcast. Joey and me, Todd, we're speaking with Jon Julio. We're very excited to be talking with Jon Julio. He recently announced the end of Valo, and also announced that he's starting a new skate company. We're obviously very excited to hear how this all came about, how long you've been strategizing, planning, just when did this first become an idea? And
yeah, okay. Thanks for having me, guys, again. Where to begin? I'll start in the beginning, I guess. I'd say it'd be like 2 years ago, a little more than 2 years ago. My situation working with Rosies, I guess the best way to describe it is unstable, like financially. That would be, I guess, the first thing I should describe, like how it came about. So basically, okay, so a lot of, like, in time things progressed to be like financially, like things were not going the right direction for me. So I had to like figure out. I can start all over again. I'm not really starting on the right foot here. I want to say the right things. You know what I mean? I don't want to be like.
For sure. Yeah, take your time.
I got to a point working with Rosies where financially I wasn't feeling secure, unstable, and I was looking for a way. I guess got to a point in my life where I was just like, hey, you know, like I either got to figure something out elsewhere, or like continue down this road where I wasn't feeling, you know, I was feeling unstable, and is either stay in the business basically and try to figure something out, or get a job, you know what I mean, or like a real life job, where or do both, do Valo and get a job, but continue to go down this road in this business relationship that wasn't healthy, you know what I mean? So that's basically the start of like frustrations of like trying to figure out how this is all going to work. So what I did was I consciously made an effort, to find a way to do it on my own, like 100% on my own. So I went to China. I had in mind like how it started with USD back in the day in the late 90s. And I remember Matthias showed us a boot, me, Petty, I think Arlo was there, and Lausanne in the late 90s. And you showed us the throne, and I was like, and then it was just no sole plate, but then it eventually had a sole plate. You know what I mean? Like, so the whole thing of starting a skate company, obviously, it costs money, a lot of money. And I have a bit of money saved, but like to like jump in this whole thing, like creating new molds and developing a product from scratch, like that's like super far-fetched, right? So like going back to Matthias, I remember just like, what if, I can't remember if that throne was an open mold or whatever, but now looking back in the 90s, like there were a lot of skates that were made, and so I thought there's an opportunity, what if I did the same thing? Like, what if I, that would be a way. That would be a way that would be affordable. I mean, I was like, maybe I was dreaming, but I was like, hey, I can probably, there might be a way I can mod something, and I reconnected with some old friends from back in the day that were involved in manufacturing, and they're still in manufacturing, and they introduced me to a couple people in China, and I was able to figure it out, on my own. It was crazy. You know, I went on. I mean, over Skype like this first. You know, with this factory, and on a whim, you know, like discussing with them possibilities. I later found out it was a great place to find this great place where a lot of skates were manufactured, basically. You know, so that relationship grew, and I was able to find something. You know, I was able to find something that I thought that would work. I still had to invest money in the molds, like. But you know, the whole concept for me was to find something like a V13 or like the USD7 or something basic. You know, like I knew that what I can do is something like the Throne. You know, maybe I could do. Maybe I could find something, and then I could invest in a sole plate and maybe, who knows? You know, maybe I could find the Solomon boot. You know, that was also something. So I found, you know, within my first trip, I was able to find something, and it was definitely a diamond in the rough. I was looking at it at different angles, and I was like, whoa, man, like this might be something. It had a heel lift similar to a V13. It also was a little wider. So automatically I was like, oh, there's two things that are like, you know, a plus. It was like something similar to a V13, but like wider. And I know a lot of people who don't ride V13s because it's like too narrow,
right?
For some feet. So anyway, maybe I'm going too far ahead of things, but that was like. So initially, it was about financial stability, and not feeling comfortable with my situation. You know, like working with Rosies, like I was still crunching, working, and it's just there was a lot of things internally that weren't in favor of the skater. You know. Money is owed, and I couldn't pay the guys, and it's a lot of weighing on me, basically, and a lot of that is stressful, man. Like, it's like, it's not fair, basically, you know, not fair to me, not fair to the riders to be in this situation. So,
and for people that might not fully be aware of what your position was with Valo and how they related to Rosies, can you explain that setup a little bit?
In the beginning, like, they approached me to be a part of Rosies, and I said, well, I wouldn't want to be a part of it unless I was, you know, I started my own thing. So we basically partnered, and I'll talk about this later, but things that, you know, didn't progress into the contracts weren't renewed. You know what I mean? Like, and it is where it is. It's business, and I want to also say, like, I had some, you know, we had 15 great years, you know, and it's just a matter of business, and like, you know, like that happens. Conflicts happen, and then you just gotta figure out what's better for you. You know, what's better, a better situation. So, but I also, like, the ultimate thing here, the biggest picture, like, I really want to say is I knew that I needed to figure out a way, obviously, to make a great product, but I need to find a way to control the inventory, control the product. You know what I mean? Because that way, if I can do that, I'll obviously ownership of the, you know, the brand or whatever, but that's like, I'm talking about the inventory, because when you're doing the inventory, you're control of the money. When you're in control of the money, you're control of invoicing. You know what I mean? Like when shops would, for example, like Oak City, like he orders from Rosies, and he gets invoiced from Rosies, and not me. You know what I mean? And I never had control of the inventory. And that's, so when you get invoiced, you send money directly to the company, and that money wasn't going straight to me. That was going to Rosies, you know. And I just had, obviously, difficult time with that. You know what I mean? So, and I did never. I mean, people who don't know that, I don't distribute Valo in America. You know, I don't distribute Valo at all. I think people might be misinformed on that.
Well, people would just assume
Yeah.
that you run Valo, you own them goods distribution.
Yeah.
They're obviously distributing Valo.
And that isn't the case. So I think that's definitely something I think people may not know. Maybe, like maybe don't care. But in this case, to explain, I know I kind of started rocking in the beginning of the interview because I don't want to be like totally, I don't want to bastardize like Rosies, but like it just got to a point where it wasn't healthy. You know what I mean? And I needed to find a solution for me and my family and for the guys, skaters. Like this structure of business is not like in favor of the skater. Like in my opinion. Because once we can control the inventory on this level, of like the actual skate, the most important thing in our market, then things can progress. Like I'm already seeing it now. Like I've had the craziest 5 days of my life. Like even longer. Sorry, not even 5 days. Like it's just more intense than the last 5 days because of knowing I was going to resign or I was going to quit. Which I did. And that was going to break a lot of hearts. I knew it was. It was going to be an emotional roller coaster. But I knew 2 years ago already that this decision had to be made because it wasn't going to get any better. I wasn't going to start distributing skates, Valo skates. You know what I mean? I wasn't going to be this. I will call it a money pipeline, I guess. Like like directly to the consumer. Sorry, consumer. Me as a distributor or a manufacturer, I wasn't going to be invoicing or receiving direct. I wasn't going to direct money from a shop or whatever. You know what I mean? Because that money was always going to Rosies, and then distributed to us or whoever it may be. If that makes sense, hopefully that makes sense.
Yeah, that makes sense. It's like there was a big middleman, or maybe you the middleman, or there was a third party that. It sounds like you were definitely limited in what you could do. I mean, can you talk at all about the agreement that you had with Roses? I mean, like, was there certain restrictions that you had on the Valo brand?
I mean, I was in charge of the team, brand management, basically, and I think that's the best thing because I wasn't doing the sales. I mean, I also did sales, but I wasn't invoicing. I would help whenever I could, but the direct contact was definitely not there. I was brand manager. I managed the team, managed the marketing, the program, and I did the best I could to get the right people together. And in that sense, it's been 15 years, so getting the right people together is kind of not the right way of saying it because we're all family now. It's like we've bought people for a long time. So, but my job is brand management. I think that was ultimately it. And then Rosies would do manufacturing, of course, and distribution. In turn, they also had a sales department.
Right.
So it was a good team. We were a good team. It worked.
Yeah.
And our sales weren't like. We're still selling skates, you know what I mean? Like there's no like dip in sales, there was just distribution of money and where's it going? And it's just got frustrating for me, and no contracts and instability. So of course, what am I going to do? I got a family. I mean, I got people behind me. I got like all my friends who skate for the company. So what I do, I go find it on my own, and I found a way to do it affordably where I'm not going to be on the street tomorrow, but still, it's still a risk. I still got to put, thousands of dollars. I mean, compared to like what I thought it would be when I learned in China, like it really, it hasn't been that bad. And like, you learn a lot. I learned a lot with like terms and able to like when you have a good relationship with good people, they believe in you, and that holds a lot. It takes you a long way. Thank God, like I built a good relationship with this company, and now I got a product. Like I worked on this for 2 years. And it was all premeditated because I knew like this wasn't getting better, and so I'm stoked on the final product. Like it's it's been a crazy emotional ride. And but going back to that question, I think I answered it. I don't know, as far as our roles together. And
Yeah.
but as years progress, like I never had a renewed contract, and that's why the process was kind of seamless with the last week, like with the social media and like it was all premeditated because I wouldn't have any issues with, doing my own thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah. You're in charge.
They weren't surprised.
Yeah.
But we left on good terms, and barring a couple things that I hope they live up to, because if they're good people, they'll live up to what they're supposed to do. But I just need to, it's funny because I'm broke. I put all my money that I have, and this is all a risk, and I just didn't want to be like 50. I'm 41. It's not far off, right? I didn't want to be 50 and be like, fuck, man, at least I should have tried.
Right.
Like I'd be like 50 and like regretting it, and you really don't know like the kind of effect you have on people until it goes to like on everything, life in general. If something passes away or someone passes away or a brand goes away, it's amazing like how it affects people. There's so much attachment. It's like a weight.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So like my this whole risk kind of like, I was really nervous until like the day the press release came out where people were tripping, like what? Like it came out of nowhere. But after all that, I was really sad, of course, but it just shows like the loyalty and skaters are, they care, and on what we were doing as a whole. And
Totally.
so like that gives me hope now. And to be honest, like this product is releasing soon, and I've been trying to sell it to shops, and it's like the support is unreal. It's really been crazy. Like the last 72 hours, I just been talking to shops all over the world, that my friends, like it's kind of, it's the support, and it's kind of crazy because like as a person involved in the brand for so long, Valo, and selling a product and developing it and selling it to stores, it's been an interesting understanding to figure out like I'll see you at Blading Cup, or I'll see you at an event. It's great to see you. I'll see you later, Mick, or I'll see you later, Leon, and then I won't talk to you, and I make a product that you buy and sell, but I don't converse with you. This is the first thing that kind of hit me. But when you're at work or you're at the shop or you're doing your thing, there's a third party there, like you said earlier, and that third party is your connection to the brand, and I just feel like it's weird, because it's supposed to be mine, right? And we should be talking all the time, like what colors or like your ideas, but that, it's pretty.
It is interesting because within skating, people think of Valo and they think of Julio. They almost think of you as the owner of the company, and everything that Valo does is they think, oh, it's Julio, which isn't entirely true. Like you said, you were pretty much just like in the marketing department of this company. I mean,
like that's what I feel like I'm good at. That's what I feel like I've been pretty good at for a long time, and that's what I could bring to the table. And at first, it was just skating,
Yeah.
And then you can bring like your influence, right?
Yeah.
And then after that, it's like, all right, it takes a business to create. It takes a group of things to create a business. You need the manufacturer, you need money, you need a sales force, you need to ship it. So there's a lot of things that obviously one man can't do all, but But now it's like, it's got to that point where it's time to do it independently. This is 100% independent. There's no one else, you know, like, it's just me, you know, like,
Wow.
and it's a, you know, there's not big numbers. I'm doing 1,000 pair of skates, you know, like, to me, that's a big number. Sorry. That's a big number for me. But like, to bigger companies, it's not, you know, like my Chinese manufacturer was like, so how many do you want to do? I'm like, oh, what's the minimum?
Yeah.
You know, like, what can I do to get, you know, something here to America for me to sell, or the product that I really, you know, that we developed a great product, and the amount of resources that I was able to see, or, you know, see, and man, I got stories for days. We can talk about all kinds. We can go into like production or all the, like, it's been a crazy ride to get to this point. Like, but I forgot what the question was already. I'm just rambling.
Tell us about the production of the new skate.
Okay, so like I started talking about, like, it has a heel lift and all this kind of stuff. So what I had to do was I had to make a sole plate, and the whole point of this whole thing was to do a price point. You know, like, not whole point, but that was the direction I was going for initial skate, was a price point skate, comparable to, when I say price point, I mean like 165, 170, like a V13. Boot only is like 170, right? And if you're buying on like a Game Mall or a Roller Warehouse in America, that skate is what is it, 170 boot only, and that's what I was trying to get, and I was able to do that with this skate. And there's going to be a lot of like, oh, this mold, I've seen this skate before, whatever. And technology is, you know, it's nothing boosting technology, but it's skating, you know, like it's, for one, it's like, for me to jump in this game, I need to figure out a way to do it. Like, you know, this is grassroots as it gets, you know, like, I don't, you know, financially, I don't have capital to like develop brand new molds on every fucking piece. You know what I mean? So, but I know what works. A B13 works, you know?
Yeah.
No, the Throne worked, you know? Like, so like, to be able to offer that product at a price point, which is the highest selling skate in the market, is a price point skate around that area. That was my goal, you know? And that's what it is. It's an open mold boot, with some, you know, modifications that make it its own, you know, like, and it's a one-piece sole, very, very black and white, you know, and the place that I make this skate at, they have years of experience. They make a lot of skates that are on the market, so the question of quality wasn't, there was no question. So over a series of trips to China, under the radar, was able to get it going, and now we just released an edit today, and, you know, releasing at Winter Clash. I developed this whole plan to get it out to a point where I would try to get on pre-sale. You know what I mean? If that makes sense. Like,
yeah,
I would like I basically paid the molds, and now I got no money. But I got to that point, and then my goal was, straight up, my goal was to like pre-sell, whether it be through, which has been fucking amazing, like the support I've gotten from all the stores that I've talked to, like there in no way, shape, or form that I would believe the support of like the shops pre-ordering to support this company, you know, in this manner, and I can, you know, like, your favorite skate shop is supporting this company. I'll just say that, you know, from all over the world, like, and this is like undeniably amazing to me, because of this, I'm able to take the next step and produce these skates, you know, and I mean, I haven't done all the math yet, but I'm in a good position to be able to pay for the production, you know, like fucking fully independent because of that. And my whole game plan was like, okay, like, maybe I'll only get 2 shops. If I get 2 shops, if I get one in America and one in Europe, and they can figure it out with me, then that's going to help me out. And then I still have my own site, and I do the best I can, like, to push it on Them Goods. If you all notice, like, there's no Valo skates on themgoods.com for whatever reason. You know what I'm saying? And this has been a big thing to me too. So going back to controlling the product, controlling the inventory, controlling, as a skater, if it's coming back to the skaters, where's it going to go? You know what I mean? It's going to go to the skaters. And anyway, sorry, I lost train of thought. But so this whole pre-order thing, like, we're launching next week on February 20th. On all the partners, all the stores that are on board, that are helping me out. Helping me out, but helping the brand out. And we're all gonna pre-order at the same time, like on the same day. And the skates are not going to be delivered though till end of May, first week of June. So from February 20th to end of May, which is 2 months, not too bad. But we're just going to continue to promote, and we got 2 colorways also. Like, that was a big thing to me too. Like, no one knows that yet, but when you listen to this podcast, they'll know. Well, depending on what day it comes out, I guess. The thing with me was a big risk, right? So 1,000 pairs, one color, right? And I just kept thinking, like, man, like, this is a pre-order. I'm doing a pre-order plan. Like, oh, this is like heavy, like 1,000 of one color, like, scary. You know what I mean?
Very scary.
And I thought, in my last trip a month ago, I was like, to the factory, I was like, hey, do you guys think we can do 2 colors? Because if I can do 2 colors, then that's like less risk for me. That's like big relief. I can offer 2 colors to shops, and they have more opportunity to sell. Just
totally.
Same on themgoods.com. Like, if you want to pre-order on February 20th, you can pre-order. You can have choices rather than just have one. You know what I mean? Yeah. And I think that's a big thing for it is. I'm sorry, it's a huge thing for this whole investment that I'm getting it. That I've gotten into.
What's the other color? Are you allowed to reveal it?
Calling it ivory, ivory and black. Well, it's white. It's off white. We're trying to get that salmon color. It's like it had a blue sole, and we try to get to match that. So that'll be also available at the same time. And that one looks amazing. I think that's you'll all see it soon. It's like, it's just crazy how it's all kind of working out for me. I'm like, I just can't believe it. Like, I'm so happy that this is another thing. Like okay, like, my backup plan was to get a job, and so I applied for the post office, U.S. Post Office, and this was last month, right? It's fucking, I don't know if you ever tried to apply for this job, but it's militant. It's crazy. And I got through the whole process. I passed the test. I go to the interview. There's like 100 people there, and I'm sitting in there. I'm like, I'm like all about it because I need, like, I'm trying to get a job. So, but it was just so wild to be in there and be like I was there for 5 hours, and I didn't think I was going to get the job because there's like 100 people in there. So apparently they have a lot of positions, but so the day after I put the press release out, I get the fucking email from the post office saying, "You're hired."
Holy shit!
You can either accept or decline, and they only give you 7 days to make a decision. In like 3 days, you got to do like the drug test, and then you got to do a background check. Thank God I don't do drugs, and I haven't never been to jail, so I had a good chance of passing all that. So I declined. 2 days ago, because like this is working. Like, at least I feel like it's working, and the number of people are pre-ordering, and sorry, I'm emotional. tears of joy.
Definitely.
We can take this part out, right?
Yeah, I can cut the silence a little bit longer.
Just playing. You could leave it. Whatever.
It's been incredibly inspiring seeing all of those Valo accounts from all over the world switch to them skates accounts. It's incredible.
Yeah, man. Emotional roller coaster.
So
It sounds like it. Wow.
Because like, the Valo is a family, man. Like all over the world, and it's not even about the money anymore. It's just like I was telling the guys, and people were crying. You know, like it's crazy.
Yeah, the response to that first Instagram post where you basically announced that it was the end of Valo,
Yeah.
it really affected people.
It's like it's history. It's like all the times we shared, and not even just the team, especially the team, but like because of social media, you're a part of it, you know. And
yeah,
it's like I just had to digest that and figure that out. Like people really give a shit, you know. Of course they do, but like going back to the whole wake thing, it's like when people pass away. I mean, my best friend died too, like January 1st, and I went to his funeral, and it was just like that all over again. You know, it's like, whoa, what the hell is going on? You know, like I know we have a lot of followers, but you know, you don't tend to see that many people like post or like comment, and people are genuinely sad, and it sucks, but it was a necessary thing to do. And I can only, and like you said, like the followers change, like the whole them goods. I mean, sorry, Valo turning into Valo Brazil, them skates in Brazil, and that's just like it's crazy.
yeah. Well, I think people were.
Hey, for the record, I never asked anybody to do that. Like, I don't even know who some of these people are. You know, like
Yeah.
So
I feel like the disappointment or the sadness that people may have felt like when they saw that Valo was dying.
yeah.
In a sense, it made it that much more exciting. Like when you announced a couple days later.
Yeah, I
them
mean, it was
skates.
all planned that way. You know, like I knew,
Brilliant.
like,
Fucking
there was
brilliant.
An opportunity to, like, I could have chose to keep doing Valo. I mean, I didn't have a choice, but in the beginning, like they didn't know I was gonna do this. Obviously, you know, like at the beginning of the year, and they gave me a budget, like what they thought that could be spent, and it was just like, I won't even say it. It was just no, you know, this is not gonna work, and it was like, sorry, I just like lost my train of thought, but going back to like releasing the skate, like I already had, like it was all planned. Like I couldn't just have Valo, even the opportunity to have Valo there while doing them, it wouldn't work. You know what I mean? Like that doesn't make it wouldn't make sense. It wouldn't, in like having two companies, people would be confused. People are confused now, you know? Like imagine if there was both. You know,
Yeah, there'd be a conflict of interest.
Yeah, serious conflict. And so the only choice really, it legitimizes what I'm trying to do on my own. You know, like why would it doesn't make any sense to like do something on 100% on your own and then have this other thing that's not yours, that it's not working the way it needs to. I mean, from my point of view, this is from my point of view, listening to this. So I know there's like always another opinion, and like social media is crazy. It's like I was reading some of the posts out there, man. It's like the wild west. It's like people are shooting bullets at each other, and I mean the reality of this whole situation is just what I've been saying. Is like just trying to like take control of the product and do great shit as a skater for the community. And I've always believed, I've always done that to the best of my ability. At least I feel like it. And what's going to happen when the full margin of profit is coming back to them goods. You know what I mean? Like, what's gonna happen? It's gonna go to the skaters. We're gonna have blading cups still. We're gonna do forecasts. Skaters are gonna get paid. You know?
Yeah.
He's not gonna be tied up somewhere else, wherever it is, in this cloud of fucking who knows where the money is right now. You know what I mean? Like, hopefully, I'm speaking on. I'm hoping this all works. You know, and so far I feel really good that the support is there, and I just hope that we can take it to the next level, and people believe in it. Because if this doesn't work, man, my God. The great thing about this is the great thing. This is ground zero, right? This is ground zero. Like my overhead is my house. It's my loft. You know, I've been living there for 15 years. Hopefully, I can fit 1,000 pair of skates in there. You know, like, the overhead's that, and I'm the only person in there. And with the help of, like, obviously everyone's seen, like, Robbie Pitts did the team, like, to do what we did. You know, on the under the radar, like, develop what is now them. Like, it's the same crew, you know.
Yeah, can you tell us, give us any names, like who's going to be on the team, who's working with you?
This is where I'm at. Like I got $0 in my account, you know. Like, I have to sell every single one of those pairs, you know. Like, I don't pretend to have money to, like, give anybody free skates, you know.
Yeah.
And much less royalties, much less paycheck, you know, until things like turn over and start moving for the company. You know, and that's just normal business, right? You need to be tight with your money in order to turn it around. And
for sure.
And that's the hard part. That's the hard part about this is, like, you have to start fresh and start new and not give promises, because when you start doing that, then you start losing money, because then you start giving too much product away or doing stuff that you shouldn't do because you need to be tight. That's where I'm at right now.
Yeah.
So everyone's family, and everyone's always going to be family to me, you know. But at the end of the day, it's like, I hope everyone who's been a part understands the importance to grow the brand, you know, and get it sold and get it out there, because that's where it needs to. That's where it's at, you know, like, from ground zero. And then we need to like make sales. I need to make sales. You know, that's, I guess, the other part of it. The flip side of it is that's the exciting part, because if it does well, and if we continue to sell skates, and then we're going to be able to do those amazing things.
Yeah.
We're going to be able to introduce riders. We're going to be able to give a pro skate. We're going to be able to give money back to the guys. Or, you know, it's like, create a program. But, like, you can't do that if you haven't sold product, you know? So,
no kidding, yeah.
But that's the status of the team, I guess, you know? Like, I also like to keep it a secret, because it'd be cool, like, you know. That's exciting.
Totally, yeah.
These, like, intros, like, you know, if it does well, of course. I mean, as things progress, you know, like the dream to live the dream on. This is the whole process. So.
Yeah.
How did it work with the Valo team? Yeah, you said it was like almost a 2-year process. Where you kind of had the idea. How many of the guys knew, or when did you tell them?
The majority of them knew. Like, well, they know when the structure of business affects them, that something isn't right. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, when there's something not, like, when they knew something was up when they found out that I'm having conflicts within the business. You know what I mean? And we all like know everything. You know, we're all talking to each other all the time. So as far as, like, the team goes, so but it was definitely a drawn out process. Like the ideas was one, and then to be honest, like when this all thing was progressing, like I didn't even know I can do it. Like for the first year, I was like, can I actually do this? Like I don't think I really found out that I can actually do it until like the second trip there, which was like last year, middle of last year. Like I found out what the cost, what the actual total cost was of the skate, and I was like, oh, that's doable. You know what I mean? Because there was questions of like minimums, and certain things I wanted to adjust on the skate, and whether it be like embroidery or even just like the materials, like materials of the liners. And so a lot of things that were variables. Like it was all like naturally getting to where it needs to be, and that's what the product is now, like a natural organic thing that just was created because of what was happening. Like there was no way like the edit right now that you saw, it was it's Darst and Cruz and me. We all live here down south, and Robbie's here too, and he's amazing. Obviously he's amazing at what he does, and he made an amazing edit, and we all shared the same vision of like how we wanted to project this, and that's what you saw. So but there are a lot of variables, we had to be under the radar, and somehow we were able to do it. I think that's the product of like how everything is so shocking,
That was the most roller coaster week in rollerblading history, possibly.
So, well, for me, man, it's been crazy. Like, yeah, I don't even. It's not going to end anytime soon either.
That post office job story is insane. That
yeah. And the other thing is that was an LA job, and I got another interview for Santa Ana, which is where I live, which is closer. And that one, they're gonna send me because I think you can see how it's processing on the website, and they're gonna send me an interview for that. I think in the next week, and who knows? Maybe I'll have to take it. Like maybe well, we'll see. Like hopefully I can sell the skates.
So the 1,000 pairs of skates are coming to your house, and going to skate shops only, or are you doing direct sales? How is that all going to work?
Yeah, I'm doing wherever I can sell it, man. Themgoods.com is gonna be available, both colors, but all your favorite retailers are gonna have it too, like internationally. And a couple of things lined up too with a potential distributor in the UK and us in Europe, and we'll see. Like I don't, those aren't like solidified yet. It's all real time right now. Like it's go time, and just trying to work with like, what I'm doing the best that I can with the ability that I know and the knowledge that I know, and as long as like everyone's continuing wanting to work with me, and it'll work its way out. But we'll be available globally. Like we'll be able at Heathen Skate. We'll be able at Loco. We'll be available at Click and Roll in France, and we'll be available at Beyond in Mexico. He was just at my house today. He was driving through. And South America, I'm working on Brazil and a pull. Paul Martin, he orders skates, man. Like it's crazy. And local Oak City. Shop Taz. See, all these things are just real time right now. It's all happening in the last 72 hours. So like talk about emotional ride. I was going to be working for the post office a couple of days ago. So it's been whoever's listening to this, man, I just want to thank everybody before them, like for all the support, like for all these years that people have given the brand, despite the difference, the change. I hold no ill will toward Rosies. It's business. Things happen. You gotta, you got to figure out how you can work in your best interest to whoever you are, and there are a lot of things that happen in you in the business world that you just have no control of, and I totally understand that. So how bad it is, like, I can't speak for everybody else, but you just have to, sometimes you just gotta accept it, and that's what I did. I accepted that it wasn't going in our favor, and I just needed to make a move that was in the best interest for myself and for skating and for my family, and it was not the easiest thing to do by any means. But I would never have thought it would have, 15 years is a long fucking time, I thought it would just last forever, but I couldn't be more happier now being in this situation, knowing that full control of the inventory, full control of the product, full control of the money pipeline and relationship with the shops and distributors. Like, I tell them all that, and I believe it. Trust me, and as much as I trust in them, this is a crazy situation, and I'm just stoked. I'm stoked to talk about it with you guys, and it's a very personal thing, and that's what. So in such a small community of people, it's a very personal thing. So for me to be able to talk on your podcast and let people know, like, what's going on, is very important, Like, I know I'm just rambling right now, but
No, it's great. It's fucking great.
It is great.
I think people are gonna be stoked. Like, it's very exciting. Like, I mean, the dream of, like, skater-owned company. I mean, people have tried it, and I think it resonates with people. Like,
that's another thing too. Like,
it's personal.
People have tried it, and that's what worries me the most. You know what I mean? Like I don't want to go down that road. Like I'm doing the best I can. Like, I know that, like I said, like, trying to make the smart move, like, price point skate, low cost, but trying to make a solid product that doesn't break, that you can count on, that you can believe in. Like, I want people to put these skates on and be like, fuck yeah, this is like the realest shit ever, because it is, and I believe it.
Well, you have a lot of advantages. I mean, you have a distribution company. You have, so will you be doing complete skates as well?
Well, I own youth, so the molds are mine, so I still have frames in stock, and I'm offering completes. It's a difficult thing to me. I make my own wheels now, and I have bearings, so I have all the parts now. But I'm trying to figure out, because I want it to still keep the price point. I'd like it to be around $200 to $250 for complete, but I'm still in the process of figuring it out. It's all real time again, like trying to figure out where I don't lose money, because the value of the products are a little higher. They're not like, I'm not a big company where I just have, like, I can just stock, like, all these frames and then discount them.
Yeah.
Gotta be, like, holding the margin, even though it's fucking hella old product.
Yeah.
That's just the truth of it. But
so are you going to be putting youth frames and wheels by hand on the skates yourself?
Yeah, my house. Anyone wants to come over and help out?
That's awesome.
That's incredible.
I'll be sure to be documenting it so people can see.
So is Them Goods just out of your house?
Yeah, I used to have an office. I had the shop, of course. Then I had the office. And then because I was trying to save money for this a couple years ago, and the office was on the second floor, and that would have been terrible, to like bring skates up and down an elevator. That like that's I was already doing that, and it was terrible. So my loft is like on the bottom floor. I got big garage, but I got two garages, and then I just gonna park the cars outside, and then stack them high. I got high ceilings. And that's how it's going to run until I figure things out. With what's crazy on top of this is, like, the skates are going to arrive in May, right? This is another emotional thing. The skates arrive end of May, early June, and I have a son coming in May.
Wow.
So
I I forgot about how many life things.
Congratulations! Wow.
Yeah, thanks.
So
Well, it's
many
gonna be-
life things stacked.
Yeah, it's just like insane time. It's an insane time to like, oh, by the way, I'm having a child. Oh, by the way, 1,000 skates are gonna arrive. But,
Yeah, it raises the stakes.
yeah, a little bit. Can you imagine like you have kids, like,
Yeah.
it's gonna be a heavy year, but my wife's amazing. She supports 100%. And in the last 3 days, people have been supporting, and we just can't believe it, Like I think we're gonna be okay,
Oh yeah.
We're gonna be okay. So
I think those skates are just gonna fly off the shelves.
I
Just
can't wait for people to see it too. Like I can't wait. I mean, there's gonna be haters. There always are gonna be, but
of course.
the product is I'm proud of it. I'm really proud of the end all, and I think people will understand, and like when they ride it, it's gonna be good. It's gonna be a great thing to see it out there.
I think the way you referenced seeing the very first throne model with Matthias was kind of fitting on how you're thinking about this. So did that little
that was like the only way I can like even imagine doing it, like from my experience with just working with Italy and like but what got me was the pricing in China, like I was like, whoa, really? Like, and it's still like, it's not cheap. I mean, it's still money, like, but it was from my experience, like when I made my youth frame, substantially cheaper, like, and the quality just as good, and they have made, like, where I'm at right now in China, they make a lot of skates. They make a lot of different brands, and if they don't make them, they know, like, it's like in the area that I'm at, it's like surrounding factories. So there's molds, there's buckles, there's pads, there's a zone for pads, there's like a zone for everything. Like, so if you don't have something in one place, this other factory will have it, I'm just learning right now, like, how it's all works. So this is just from my experience. And
yeah, what was the journey like for the contacts? Who did you?
Well, yeah, like I didn't say that. Huh? Like an old friend, he used to work for Bauer from the mid '90s. He doesn't work for there obviously anymore. He actually has his own business, but no one really know who he is. But he has a really good relationship with this particular factory. They manufacture like also other stuff, skateboards, scooters, everything, and he's in that business. So because of his good relationship with that factory, I was able to get my foot in the door, and then they figured out who I was, and they learned quickly, like, hey, maybe this guy can actually pull this off. They gave me the minimums, they gave me the two colors, and they believe in me too. So it's kind of like a interesting pairing, because I might have landed somewhere else. You never know. Like I would have found a different place that wasn't going to be the way it is now. But it's just, luckily, it's the right place to be. It is, for sure. Like I can't imagine a better situation, because the people that I'm working with over there are great. So, but that's how I met them. Like, from good people meeting good people, and doors opening, because that's how it works, like, and that's basically it, really. I just went for it, They were like, this is what happened. They Skyped me, right? The factory. And it was funny because there was like, I'm trying to do this on the radar, and I open up the Skype like this, like how we are, and there's like 20 people there in a boardroom, And I'm like, oh shit, because they were trying to show me like the skates that they make and the samples and stuff, and I was like, whoa, like, like, okay, like, hi, like I don't even know who's there. It's like, it's really weird, Like I was like, I don't know, it was weird.
No leaks. Nobody was taking pictures of the Instagram call, posting it.
I mean, they were all, I don't know who they were, but it's like, obviously nothing happened out of it, but I was super paranoid because obvious reasons. And then that Skype turned into like, okay, John, so what do you think? What do you want to do? Here's some pictures. And I was looking at pictures. I'm like, what kind of skates are that? Like South America? Like, okay, like what's underneath there? What kind of boots underneath there? I had like a ton of questions, like, you know, and then these people are salespeople that I was talking to. They weren't manufacturing. They weren't like, tooling anything. They were just sales. So they're like, well, if you come here, we'll put you up. We'll take care of you. We'll just find out what you want. How about that? And then it was Christmas Eve 2 years ago, and I got the ticket that day. I was like, after they told me, like, all right, I'm doing it. Christmas Eve. Like, I'll never forget it. And then bought the ticket right away, and that was the start of it all. That was pretty much it. I went over there and I looked at everything they had, and I was like searching, like I was digging for records, you know. I saw some crazy stuff, bootlegs, and like, man, it's crazy out there. Like all the old relic, skate stuff that was made in the 90s. Like, it's pretty awesome, actually. It was pretty cool to see all that stuff because, we're all skaters, been around for a while, you know. It's like kind of crazy to see like old product that's no longer around.
Oh, totally.
Graveyard.
Did you find anything that you might use in your arsenal later on that you can't reveal?
That's kind of a question more for like the guys, or a little. I maybe, but brainstorming though.
Yeah.
Like what I do want to do is like our skates are in 3 sizes, right? So they're in 3 sizes. We have 3 boot molds, and I'm calling them size small, medium, and large. Small being size 7-8. Medium being 9-10, and large being 11-12. And I'm only doing 1 liner per size. That has to do with cost and like working with the production side of things and making sure like the compensation, maybe because I'm doing 2 colors, or I just like production costs. And there was 4 molds available in that boot, and it is a sabotage boot. There was 4 molds made in that boot, and the biggest boot was huge. So I was like, just trash that one. So going back to your question is like, I want to make the smaller size because right now it's only 7-8. And if I can make the smaller size, I would have to make a new boot mold. If I was going to make a new boot mold, it would be complementary with the sole plate, which would be a new style. So that would maybe be the next step, because I want to make kid skates. I'd like to fulfill those sales that are going to K2 or brands like that shops may be selling that aren't really giving back to the community right now. You know what I mean? As far as like sponsoring events or riders or whatever it may be. Like, I'd like to offer a range size for kids that are younger. Because right now, our small size is a 7-8.
I'm very excited to put a Intuition liner in that 910.
Yeah. What size V13 would you ride?
I'm a 10. I was borderline. I tried to get an Intuition in the 9, but I was always a 10. It was a little big, but yeah, a 10 V13.
One thing to keep in mind is Robbie's been riding my skates. He's a 10 V13, and he rides a medium, or the sample size, which is 910. So you might be the medium sample size that we have right now, which is rad because it's a little wider, obviously, and you could downsize. It's not that much of a downsize either. It's like just like centimeters, like.
And he has the Intuition in it, or?
Yeah. He put them in there.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Damn.
I was gonna ask, did you ever have any history with the Bauer trying on the original Bauer shell, or did Bauer ever try and make you an offer to ride for them, or how did that all work?
I came in right when Rosies was my first sponsor, so they were kind of competing. I think they had AJ, they had Tracy White, So they were like, I was already on Rosies, so there wasn't an opportunity to, if there was, I didn't even see it. So I never ventured in that. There was never anyone talking to me about it.
And you never put your foot in the skate at any point? You just always...
Never. Yeah, never did. I mean, I was kind of turned off with the green. I mean, it's funny, people think that L is the Bauer, but it's not, obviously. But that green always turned me off back in the day. Oh, they had Sam Fogarty, I remember, and they had
Yep.
What else did they have from Canada?
Nicky Adams,
and the other homie. He was really sick.
There was Serge Mahou.
Serge.
Jan Fournette.
Jan Fournette. That's it.
Yeah,
he was
in Bowers.
Yeah, and then they were gonna make a black version of that skate that never came out. So then that mold evolved into the Sabotage mold, or how does that? If you can.
This mold is open. So basically, I have a contract with the factory that they can't sell to anybody else. And same as I own my own mold, so I have a contract for that for sole plates. But that's purely how I found this skate, and it had that crazy sole plate. It was like, and it was buried, and I dug it up out of the bottom, and then I looked at it, and I was like, I like these lines. I like the shoe lines. It's kind of interesting. And then I was like, I took off the sole. It's crazy sole plate. It's like elevator shoes, It's like, it was interesting. It was like, how the hell did they even think about selling these? It's crazy. But like, took them off, and then that's when I saw the heel lift, like the V13, And I was like, oh shit. And I was staring at it for a long time. I can mod it a little bit, get rid of the bump eyelets that the Bauer had, and I smoothed that out. And then what else did I do to it? I think that's pretty much it. The liner that it came with was really sick. The hood liner that we have on it now, like, I really like that look. Like, it's just something different, like, that's not out there. I mean, this whole skate, if you look at it, when you have pictures out, like, it definitely has its own, like, vibe, And that's what I really liked about it. It has, like, its own presence. Like, you put that on the shelf with the other skates, you're definitely gonna look at that one and be like, whoa, what is that, It being black, it simplifies it a lot, but you'll see with the white colorway, it accentuates the lines and the contrast. It's really, like, I'm really proud of the white one, because it's kind of like, I don't even want to talk. You'll see. It's just like really stoked on how it all came out, and it's funny that it is that skate, and I saw a kid right when he posted the edit today. He's like really disturbed. It's like not some new technology. And I was just like, dude, like, I'm not like some crazy millionaire dude that is gonna come up with like the next level, like, iPhone X, like, this is flip. This is like this is street skating, it's just solid street skate. That's what it is. And if you want a street skate, this is it, that's basically it. But no, sorry, our wheel wells. I made bigger wheel wells. Robbie put his wishes on there, and no stress. And I'm on youth frames a little different, because they're like the millimeters, like I think the biggest wheel is 58. It's the biggest wheel you can put on there, but I put 60s without rubbing. I put 60s on for the new wheel wells, and they're fine on a youth frame, and it doesn't rub. So I measured it. It's around 65, the wheel well, from a youth frame's perspective. It'll fit, but you'll see the wheel wells are deeper.
Damn. So
yeah.
You won't have to mod for wish frames, most probably.
Yeah. No, you don't. Like, Robbie put them on. He's like stoked. So
very nice addition.
I have pictures of the wheel wells that people can see. All is gonna be like, we're gonna have them all online very shortly. Like, we're just kind of obviously been teasing the photos, but I'm gonna go charge.
He's on the move.
Julio's walking towards the Starbucks.
Just like talking, I feel like we're talking a long time. Sorry.
This
Right?
whole scene kind of reminds me of like espionage.
It does look
When
like
you were,
it,
like-
you know.
It's really hot there.
The intro when it was nighttime.
It's really loud in there. I got like 5% on here. I just don't want it to die, you know.
Oh, okay.
Let me see. Maybe I can save some alternative. Okay. What else?
It's kind of an interesting photo. The post of announcing the Valo, that it was the best of times. It was the end of times. Is that you?
Yeah.
Striding.
Yeah. Dark shot it. That was like our last day filming in LA.
And are you wearing in this picture? Are you wearing them skates?
Yeah.
Okay.
I am. Like it was like in my one of my last clip. I think I did that solo the wall ride. That's the same spot. That was actually the last clip that was shot for the promo.
Your skating was sick.
How long
in the
have you
promo.
had the prototypes?
November. Been testing them since November.
Do you need to plug your computer in, or
I think I do, but it's really loud in there. I think I'll put my headphones on, but I'm afraid that's gonna mess up the. But we'll try it. Maybe I won't. I'll just see how loud it is. If it's too loud, then you let me know, because it's more about you guys, right?
okay?
Recording me.
Can you still hear us right now?
Yeah. Find the charger.
John's in Starbucks. This is amazing.
You're talking. Let's keep this. This is good right here.
Oh shit, that's Julio.
Sorry.
Okay. Yeah, we can still hear you.
I'm trying to like charge. Okay. Now we're okay.
Okay, that still sounds good. I think. If you
Cool. Can you hear me?
can you hear us?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. Hello.
Yep. I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yep.
Okay.
And your computer's plugged in?
Yep. We're good.
Okay, perfect. Do you want to talk a little bit about the Soul Plate and developing it, or
Yeah. It's two piece. Sorry, it's not two pieces. One piece. Similar to the sizing of the TV or the JJ, the second generation sizes of the Soul Plates for the Valo, like on the latest SK, similar dimensions. One piece similar to the V13 as far as like flat sole. The groove is different. Cruz actually developed that groove. It's like a little more. It's not as deep as it's a little more shallow. It's kind of like a do-it-yourself, but it rides rad. It's different. It definitely different. It looks different from the other grooves that are out there. But we're stoked on them though. They grind rad. Like you got the plastic's solid and the TPU boot plastic is all good. We went to two different kinds of hardnesses on the boot, and nope, so far no issues. Dart seems to be doing all right, doing the big gap. So, but that's pretty much like just kind of brought over this my familiarity with the ball soles really, and that's pretty much it. This is just basic flat sole. Nothing flashier than that, really.
was there a point in the history of Valo where I can't remember when the V13 got released, but then it's did you notice it started to gain more popularity because of its simplicity?
I think it gained popularity because of the Sizemore riding it first, and then obviously Alex and everybody else started. But I think the nostalgia of like how skating was back in the day. Nostalgia is a big thing in blading, obviously. It seems to be a ongoing nostalgia for blading from products, and resell, and videos, and whatnot. And it's a classic look. I mean, when I started skating, that was like my first skate. So like, I think there was a lot of people that are just like me. So I think that all contributes to it. But yeah, like I think Sizemore brought it in super heavy earlier when he was riding M12s, and obviously Alex. He looks good on any skate, but.
There's a number or there's lettering or something right by the cuff on the boot on this new skate.
Oh yeah, this is a good thing. So there was we were trying to figure out a name for the skate, and when I first picked it up, it had a gray. I have a picture of it still. I think it was a gray or black. I think it was gray. Gray Sharpie on it, and it had a name 908 on it, and I asked them what is that? What is that number? And they're like, oh, that's the mold number of the boot. And I was like, oh, okay, sick. All right, that's the name of the skate then. So I just been calling it the 908. And then I didn't like how that looked on the side boot, so we just took it off. That's not gonna come on the skate. So this is basically a signature of the sample. Like you see that's a sample skate basically. There won't be that logo on there. But the 908 is the name of the skate. We're gonna call it that.
And did you get the reference right away when Latimer's climbing up on the roof saying, let's get them skates? Was that only after?
Who brought it up a day ago? Oh no, it was Gavin. Gavin Drum. I was on the phone with Gavin, and he was he just immediately said that for some reason. I don't know, just brought it up. I was like, oh my God, that's right, And then someone just put a fake account online, them skates with a Z in the end. I don't know who it is. And tagged them skates, or our account. And then I looked at it, and it was just an edit I just posted, or I rebranded. But yeah, it was brought up by Gavin. I totally didn't think about it until. So Dustin didn't name the company.
No, it was just a beautifully serendipitous moment from
all to be, right? It's wild.
Frankie also dropped a "Pass Me Them Skates" in one of his videos. Yeah,
that might be conflict of interest, though.
Oh, that's right. How do you feel about the energy around skating right now? Even we were confused when we worked with that engineer at K2 for a little bit, that it's super confusing, that it seems like the energy around skating is amazing, but you hear conflicting stuff about the size of it in North America. What are your thoughts about the amount of boot brands?
You're calling me at a good time where I'm going to talk positive, because people want to buy the skates, and so. But I did talk to Heathen Skate. I can say what they said. They had their biggest sales in 2017, and they're growing right now. So that sounds great. And then I was talking to somebody else. I can't remember who it was. It was just another account that I would talk to. I can't even think of who it was, but it was positive. It was same thing. More skates, more skaters. I can't remember what it was. I mean, even talking to this potential UK distributor. It's just, like I said, consensus is positive. I mean, I won't really get a really good heartbeat, until, again, talking to the customers more and having a real skate out there that can be a pulse, I'll get an idea, what's happening, with whatever shop is saying. And that, in this case, it's like I said earlier, it was a weird thing, not talking to customers all the time, it doesn't make sense for me not to be, or haven't been doing that for all these years. It's weird. But my consensus is For North America, you mean? Is that what you said? Or just in general? Or?
To me, it always seems like North America's one story and the rest of the world is one story.
Yeah. Yeah, I would say like Europe is definitely more exciting. Like there's a lot more excitement for the for the product for them right now. As far as like the amount of stores, maybe because it's more condensed out there and the countries are so close. But there's like different, a different store for a different country. There's shop in Ukraine. There's like AGV there, and then there's like numerous stores in France. And then you got UK that has a store. Like so everything's kind of like it seems like everything is bigger there, but
even unrelated to sales,
yeah,
it must be an inspiring time. Just the people that you watch that are skating and making stuff in the past decade, even the past 5 years for skating.
Yeah, like there's a lot of products, huh? Like always seems to be like are you talking about like product in general, or
I'm talking about VODs, products,
yeah,
everything. There's I don't know. There's something about skating right now that changed.
Yeah. I'm such in like a whirlwind of things happening. It's hard to gauge.
Oh,
more than what I'm doing right now. Sorry. But I'm feeling good about everything as far as this goes. But
that reminds me, Valo 6?
Yeah.
What if you want to talk about that or what?
Yeah, it's gonna happen still. Ivan wants to do. I think he wants to call it something in the nature of Valo Farewell. Like it'll be like the last video. We're still discussing on how like it'll run, like how it'll work, like toward the end, or maybe there's some sort of like closure with the brand, But he has so much amazing footage, He's shot for a couple years now, and so he's putting it all together. He was talking about summer, maybe a Valo Farewell or something in that nature, but. It's definitely coming out.
Have any of the have any of the riders already ordered their skates? PayPal?
No. Well, verbally.
I'm buying some.
There's a lot of people who shouldn't be buying skates that are going to be buying. I mean, you know what I mean? Like, really? So I'm going to buy 2 pairs. I'm like, what? I don't want to put names out, but there are definitely a lot of no money transactions, but people are verbally confirming. Yeah, it's awesome. It's crazy.
I was gonna ask about, was the Roses post the follow-up post to your post? At least that's what it felt like. Did you know that was coming, or?
I mean, I kind of knew that it was gonna come out because they would have to, Like I knew that after I gave them the idea. Well, I confirmed like I'm done, Like I'm done like working with Rosies, and I think it was on Monday, and the press release came out on Wednesday, I think. But anyway, I just knew that I had to put my press release out before they did in general, like I wanted to at least. And I had to email it to them, and that their response obviously was to it, but got some mixed reviews, I guess. But I just it makes sense though. It makes sense to like to sell product, like you can't just, they got to sell product, whether they did it, if they executed it right or wrong or good or bad. They're a business and they got to sell a product. They got to put it out there. And, so.
Do you know anything about their future plans?
No, I would hate to say anything that I'll keep that question.
All right.
Okay.
I prefer.
Is there anything that you're really excited to do with a new brand that things that you didn't do with Valo, or taking things in a new direction with this new brand? Like, are you excited to have a clean slate to work with for branding, marketing, everything?
Me and AJ talk a lot stuff like. I mean, I'm not in any position to do it yet or anything. Like I just want to get to point B and just see if I can sell skates on my own and get them out. But yeah, there's a lot of things that kind of makes sense with like royalties. Like maybe I'm not experienced enough on like how the business should run, selling a product and making sure you turn over and cover your bills and you're making profit. I need more experience with it, but like maybe time will tell. But I mean, what's keeping a company from giving $2 or $3 for a pair of skates, a pro skate, to more? You know what I mean? So if you sell a skate for a certain price, you're getting your margin, right? As a business, and say you add like $10 on there instead of $2, and that $10, say if the skate is like normally not a pro skate is like $180, and you want to add $10 on there, it's $190. And you give that $10 to Alex Groskow, and you sell 1,000 pairs. How much money does he get? You know what I mean? Why is it $2?
Right.
Why is it $3.50? Like, maybe it needs more analyzing from my end. I mean, AJ talk about it a lot. Like, it's like, is there something like, even if it was like maybe the skate company wanted to make more margin, figured it out, and the skate was $200. You know what I mean? People are still gonna buy it. And then I don't know. I mean, obviously it takes some more thinking because it's the first time jumping into this on my own. But it seems like it's reasonable. Maybe $10 is too high. Maybe $5. I don't know. But you're saying 1,000 skate. Imagine if it was $20. You know, $20 grand. I mean, I'm just talking out loud, of course, because like I'm not, But if we're selling a skate with that margin, is that crazy to say? No, maybe not. Something to think. Something I'm really trying to explore, basically. Because that would be so crazy if, one skate run, Groskow sold 1,000 pairs on his name. Like if it was $20 for royalty and the skate company just made his margins like normally does, added $20 on it, $200 skate. People will buy. You think people will buy $200 skate, right?
Yep.
With Groskow's name on it.
But that's the thing is like 200 isn't much more than 170.
Yeah, I don't know. I gotta figure it out. I'm just food for thought, and those kind of things need to be figured out. Maybe it's easier for the company not to give royalties that high. Maybe it's easier. Maybe I figure out it's easier to do salaries. I don't know. I gotta figure it out. It's like my first time to have that control, and it's exciting. It's exciting to figure out. It's like a blank canvas, like you said. Like I do know that it's all going back to the community one way or another, whether it be events, playing cups, road skates. I don't know. The more of that happening. This is another thing. Is like identity is a big thing. Me and Alex were talking about identity. Like there's not much. I mean, call it brand identity. You can call it an identity for blading, for bladers. Like it's definitely lacking. in a specific way. And I'd like to like offer that. Yeah, I want to like show people outside skating like an identity that's fucking awesome. You know, that's sick. It's like, wow, that's sick. You know, like you don't blade, that's sick. And to create a brand identity, like I don't want to compare it to stuff outside the industry and certain brands, but like that's appealing to get people into it, and that's what I would like to do with this brand. It's like I think Valo did it, but this could be another extension of that where you're stoked when you see that. You know, when you're stoked to see. I mean, as a skater, hopefully you're already stoked. But like, if you're an outsider and you're getting in, or you can relate to it because you think it's cool. And you can say, "Oh, those 4 dots. You know, that's blading. That's sick." You know, like I'd love to get that identity back into like what we do out to the masses or anywhere. You know, like however way we can. I think that makes sense.
Yeah, I think the 4 dots and even just the name alone is amazing for a start. What you can do with little emojis, 4 emojis in a row. I mean,
yeah,
that's great. And
just to give a shout to Mike McMullen, and Cheryl and Arm Studio. Like, just a shout out to them because like Mike developed that logo like a couple years ago. He knew I wanted to, like that was the next step, and I was like, oh man, like he even helped me figure out the name, you know, just like what are we gonna do with it. I don't want it to be too far off from what we already do. I want to keep it like closer, and obviously them goods is like it's all here, you know, all mine, and them is not far off from that. And he's still connected to. But he's like, dude, though, like I also wanted one word, you know, and then it wasn't that hard to figure out that. And then like he told me a day or two later, oh, I'm working on something, and then he sent me that, the 4 dots by himself, and I was like, oh shit, you know, like that's so simple. It makes so much sense. And then I was started thinking about trademarks. I trademarked our logo. So we own it. But I got a lawyer. It's a really easy service. It's like online, and for some reason the 4 dots weren't trademarked. You know, I was like, that's crazy, weird. In action sports, there's no 4-wheel rows like in a row. It's trademarked, and then I thought, well, how can I get to it? I asked my lawyer, like, how can I get it to where I won't have any issues? Oh no, he told me, if you want to have no issues with anything in the future, you should probably put your name on it, the name of the company. And then I was like, okay, and then the 4 letters obviously fit perfectly on top. So that's how, like, and then Mike put that logo together, and that was it. I was like, oh shit, okay, that's it. And then I trademarked it. I actually just got the confirmation for that not too long ago, like 2 weeks ago. It took a long time. It took a year, I think.
And so was the wheel company part of the whole strategy?
Yeah, it was like that was like in the beginning testing, like for me personally, to test like how like I can get the product, like working with the factory. Can I deliver a product? Can I make, you know, like building the relationship basically. Will John buy something from them, or can they get it here? So that was good, yeah. Well, the whole intention was that was going to be a skate company since the beginning, yeah.
So the 4 dots that were on the wheel was the precursor to the skate.
Yeah.
Brilliant.
Yeah. And it was always there, you know. So I'm just waiting for the product to get there. Yeah. And now we have it. So.
Is that 57 millimeter mold the original, the face wheel mold?
That I don't know.
Oh,
Maybe it has a similar shape, huh?
it does look really close. Yeah, I
Yeah.
was wondering.
It's not that. I don't know the answer to it. Could be.
If your computer's charged up, or we don't
Yeah.
want to take a lot of your time, but if you want to take more time, you could go back outside where it's quieter.
Yeah.
I can edit this part too.
The guy next to me wasn't feeling it. Anyway, what are you talking about?
Who's this dude in the yellow shirt? Talking about them. I don't want to hear about them.
What's this?
Who are they?
What's this trade shit? Okay, back inside.
And you're still good for a little bit, Todd?
Yeah, I'm good.
Okay.
So
How long
you're,
Yeah.
you're heading out to Winter Clash.
I leave tomorrow morning. I go to Germany with my family. We visit, my wife's German, and we're going to see her parents. And we chill for a day, and then I drive out on Thursday. I pick up the guys in the airport. And then I think I'm picking up Yvonne too, and Brandon, Darst, and Cruz, and I think Happy. He wanted me to pick him up too. We arrived around the same time, so we're all
That's a
gonna
crew.
hang out in Amsterdam for the day, I think, and then head to I got an Airbnb out there. Goes to the skate park, and I think that's Thursday. That's Thursday, and then Friday I have that panel with Arlo and Naffy on Friday, and then the trade shows right after that. So I'm really excited because what I did was I got the ivory sample, the finished sample, shipped to Germany. So I haven't actually had it in my hands, but I've seen a lot of photos, and I can't wait to get it out.
So we'll be seeing the ivory sample at Winter Clash.
Yeah.
And that panel, it's a themed panel. I think, is it called Been There, Done That?
Which one?
I think.
Oh yeah. I don't really. Yeah, I believe it's just talking about the history and our experiences. I think Ricardo Lino is monetized. I think he's the host. I'm not sure how. Actually, I don't even know how it works. So.
That was an extra funny part about the entire week of skating, that Ricardo posted that Solomon video, and then everybody was arguing about Solomon skates. Then you posted the Valo announcement. Then Roses posted the thing. Then you posted the skate. It was like 4 or 5 things in a row.
Yeah.
In the same goddamn week. So I think Winter Clash is going to be great for everybody who's there. A new start.
Yeah. A new era, huh?
It feels like it.
Yeah. Definitely from my side, definitely feels like a new era.
How many skates are you bringing? Just 2, or you and Darth will have them?
Skating the skates. Cruz and Darce will be riding, and Robbie. They have skates. I won't be skating. But, or maybe I'll skate around. But they have the actual samples. So, and we'll show the ivory and the black at our booth, and we'll have some soft goods and stickers to give out. We made postcards too. So excited to see the reaction. I'm actually really curious to see the reaction to the video. I'm looking at my phone, and it's going to be like shit talking for sure. Hopefully not as much shit talking.
What do you say to the armchair skate engineers and armchair skate company owners out there?
It's like you can't really control anybody, You just kind of gotta keep going and do the best you can, and hopefully people understand it. You can't ever, you're not going to be able to get everybody on your side. So, hopefully keep over time, people just kind of slowly figure out, hey, maybe John's doing the right thing, maybe like maybe this is the best thing that happened in a long time. Maybe I should support it, and maybe I should support fellow skater. You know, and how can you? Oh man, how can you not? You know, like how can you like not support a fellow skater? I don't understand that. But hey, everyone has their own opinion.
I think a lot of people thought when they were supporting Valo, they were supporting you 100%.
No, they were. I mean, they definitely were. Like that's guaranteed. But I think I'm more referring to now.
Yeah.
You know?
No, exactly.
Yeah.
But if they have anything to complain about, now is more of a time to support you 100%. Valo was, but this is a whole other level.
I would think so. I would agree with you. Definitely.
It's so funny to think like how dramatically like what it means to wear a Valo, how it changed from like last week to this week.
Yeah.
Like it's like, you know.
I think like the reason why I said I probably won't skate this weekend is because I gave Robbie my samples, and maybe I'll grab them from him. But like, I don't want to ride my Volos anymore. You know.
Right.
Like,
I'm having that same problem. I ordered some V13s and we're going to be filming for a new video, and I don't know if I'm going to skate them, John. I don't know. There's a lot of people going through this moral dilemma right now. But we got to skate something until we get our hands on the new skate.
That's totally okay with me. I mean, Valo is still no. I didn't mean to say it that way. I mean,
no. But I know what you mean.
The nostalgia and that's like serious. That's like my life. A lot of people's lives, you know, heart and soul. So heart and soul skating.
It's funny because you put out a lot of skating content like in the last year.
Yeah.
You would think if you had this plan, it just seems like you wouldn't really be as inspired to be skating in Volos as you were.
Oh no, it was the exact opposite. Well, people don't know. I mean, maybe you didn't notice, but I did take a month off because I was so frustrated with my relationship with Rosies. I wasn't posting anything on social media for like a straight month. Some people realize it was maybe like 3.5 weeks, but some people noticed it. And then something clicked. I guess it clicked in my head. Like I was skating for this, you know, like
right.
I was to. I mean, not just for this. I mean, I love skating regardless. I'm gonna skate, but like I just knew like I had something to look forward to, and I needed it, you know. Skating every day, obviously, like all those projects, like the 30-day challenge or like whatever it may be. Like I'm not skating to get to this point, I guess, you know.
It's got to feel great to be skating in the new skate. Yeah,
it's over. The only thing for me, it's not my size. So like, that's like been the toughest thing. But the grinding and everything, and the comfort, the liner is really comfortable. Like, but past that, just the whole believing in the product. You know, like that's it. That's 100%. You know, like
yeah,
it's like the truest thing, and you know, I look at it now, I'm like, fuck, you know. But I also need to get my size. Like that's coming next month.
So the prototype that you were in for the teaser, were they too big?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, they're too big. They're not. They're one size. I'll ride the size small.
Yeah.
And that's the size medium. So.
Your skating was pretty good in a skate that's too big.
Thanks, appreciate it.
So you're going to get your size in when everyone else gets their size in May, or do you get your size sooner?
Oh, I get it sooner. Yeah. Like I get the final samples for the small size and the bigger size. And then after that, it goes into production. Then I approve it. And that's like, I get that in a couple weeks from now. And then after that, it takes about a month for production, and then after that, it takes 45 days to get here on boat. And then the tentative date was last week of May. And then as long as everything goes to plan, and then give it a cushion a couple weeks, and that's why our official release is in June. So like the pre-order will be online, like I said earlier, February 20th. And throughout that period of time, we'll keep like pumping material out, and this podcast or an interview, or we have a promo we're working on, another one, and just try to keep people interested in understanding like the progress with the product.
Do you ever like trip out on? Do you ever think about the 1,000 pairs of skates just in a box, like on a boat that's in the middle of the ocean?
I actually haven't. I think about it as how much that's gonna cost. Because that's what I'm thinking about, and I hope I have no issues. I hope it makes it like over here. I definitely think about that. Is that what you're asking?
just that visual kind of. I started thinking about the box with all the skates. It just.
Yeah, I have a visual actually of them showing up at my house, in this flatbed truck, and looking at the boxes and being like, "Fuck, how am I gonna fit all this in the house?"
Yeah, that's a lot of stuff.
But it's a dream, right?
Yeah,
that's the ultimate dream, and if it's one time and that's gonna be the only one time, then I'll be stoked. But I hope we can keep it running. I hope we keep it going.
I remember in an old interview that that excitement of something new always coming out, and the shocking factor of Valo going down with the amazing follow-up of the silhouette of the skate was one of the more exciting new things that had happened in skating in a long time, especially since it was attached to you and all your history of Valo. So you must be proud of just that. You were making new things with Valo, but this is new on a whole new level. That the excitement around it is more than any new Valo skate you could have made, I think.
The questions, like John should know that, like Joey and I were like texting each other back and forth, like, what's John's next move? Like, what's he gonna do? Like, this is so interesting. Because there was the possibility that you were just done. I mean, or that you didn't have a plan. I kind of assumed that you had some kind of plan, especially where it said like to be continued on the ad. But it was very, very intriguing. But like, what's next? Like, what's he gonna announce next? Like, this is crazy.
Yeah, I mean, it was all premeditated. It was definitely all planned, and I'm glad it was affected. That it was executed. Like, it couldn't have gotten executed any better in that perspective, I think. I was able to do it this way too, under the radar and all this stuff, like I said earlier, because so fast, because like there was no ties with Rosies anymore, like there never was. But
how did it? How did it stay under wraps for so long? Because things being surprising these days, it's stuff always leaks out. Nobody knew anything. How did you keep it under wraps so well?
The homies were really good with not saying anything. Our team was really good that knew, and I just like I was like, these days I guess you post stuff and then it looks like, oh, where is he? And I guess I just didn't do that. I just kind of, whenever I went to China, I didn't post anything. I just kind of kept it under wraps. And then It was funny with these sessions, like, we can't go to the skate park, right, guys? Or yeah. Not that any bladers are going to be at the skate park anyway. That's a joke. But, like, it's just like some of the homies who want to go skate. We'd be like, oh, man, we just lie, like, or like, I don't know. It's just, we just knew it was necessary, right? We had a plan, and in order to execute it like it was, it just had to be that way. It was funny when we were at Roller Warehouse, and Gil watched the edit, the first draft, and he was like, the first thing he said, he was like, "Motherfucker." Guys are like 007 on this shit, the way he said it. I was just like laughing, like, what do you mean? Like, well, you got to be like looking over your shoulder all the time, and someone's like Snapchatting you. He's just like, it's funny. But I was like, so we just that was over like maybe a period of 7 sessions, the edit. And I didn't actually go on all of them. I think I missed 1 or 2. But it worked out. I'm really proud of how Robbie put it together. He did an amazing job, like, capturing the vision of, like, a lot of emotion in the edit. Like, he really hit it on the nail, like, everything. And I love it personally because I'm biased, but I have a personal attachment to, like, little things in there, breathing heavy and the hand gripping, and he did all that on his own. Like, it's like, wow, man, like, you're like, he captured real emotion, and that's basically what it's all about right now. Like, with the emotional roller coaster that it has been. He's been a long ride with it. Like, all of us have been like, we had this like text group, and we're just like all these things happening, all the shit talking, all the positive comments, all like the switching of the Valo to them. We have this like text group, and it's amazing. You're just like, oh my god, like there's like 100 texts every like 10 minutes, just like bugging out on like how everything is like working. And I don't know, it's a good energy. It's the right energy. So, are
you going to be sleeping tonight, or because after this you have lots of messages to catch up on? You launched the edit.
I haven't slept for 72. I haven't slept for 4 days. I maybe slept an hour or 2 a night, but like I know I have to sell the product. So like European or international places, I'm calling at night. Some of my conversations go like this, like just like this. And just because we're all homies and we all skate and we have the same shit to talk about, and like I'm just saying the same. I'm explaining like what I'm explaining to you guys. I tell them, like, and then we catch up. And like, so what's up with this? So it's like all these kind of things happen, and next thing you know, you don't sleep, and the next conversation happens. And so it's been pretty crazy. Yeah, like today I talked to Diego was here. Just before I left to go here to pick up. Today I picked up some them clothes for Winter Clash that Mike McMullen made for us. So we got some giveaways that just brand new graphics that came out really great. So I came here. Before that, I met up with Diego, and he ordered some skates for his shop, Beyond Pro Shop in Mexico City. He's got 5. This is what I'm talking about. This is the guy. He told me like he had 2 shops last time I talked to him, and now he has 5.
Wow.
He does all sports, but heavy on blading. So, and he ordered. He's on that prepay plan with me now. He ordered like a good run. He ordered run skates, and I was just like, another conversation that just blew me away. Like and just the support is there. So, and before that, actually, you know what? Colin hit me up this morning, actually. And he ordered skates, for the pool. And he actually said, so when are you going to do the Mushroom podcast? And I was like, fucking them right now. That's what you guys.
Yes.
And now we got a podcast. So anyway, that's how. Yeah, no sleeping at all.
Well, especially after the edit comes out, there's going to be people screen capping shit, posting it everywhere, more speculation.
Yeah. The internet's funny, huh?
It's getting out of control.
It is out of control. Dude, like, Miguel posted a photo on his story at my house laying on his back. I don't know if you saw this. And in the very far back, you can see Darth skate. And someone took a screenshot. He gets like very far back. And they put, I think what Instagram was it, the 90s skate crew. And I saw it, and I was like, dude, that's fucking weird, man. I had to zoom in, and then he posted it. That's like some Kim Kardashian shit. Weird. We're just laughing. Miguel got really offended. He was like, man, that's like my personal shit. I was like, oh, man, I don't know. It's just funny. It is what it is. I think it's cool. It's rollerblading, right? That's all it is. Like,
I just hadn't
especially.
Go ahead, Todd.
Yeah, just especially in the winter, people don't have that outlet of actually going skating, so they just sit online, and there's a lot of pent up energy going on right now.
Yeah, I bet. Yeah, I bet.
Well, I guess we're almost at 2 hours, and you probably want to read all of your messages and everything.
I got 5% on my computer anyway.
Okay. And when do you want us to post this?
You know what? Post it whenever you want. You can post it tomorrow if you want.
Oh, shit.
No, why not?
Cool.
I thought like what am I waiting for? You know, I'm like, and you can leave the crying part in there too. And let people know this shit's fucking real. You know, like this is some real life shit. It's not like, you know. Sometimes I feel like people write stuff. I'm like, dude, like. I don't got $1 million, dude. I'm not fucking rich. I don't have like, it's like, I don't know. I'm just fucking rollerblader, you know, like who's been around for a long time and trying, you know, and just fortunate to be here. But like, don't think like I'm sitting on a fucking wad of cash and like, you know what I mean? Like, I'm like in this fucking mansion and I read some stuff. I'm like, dude, like, where are these people like our industry's small and it's rad. It's fucking sick. It's a small community of great. It's a great sport. Fucking great lifestyle, whatever. But like, that's a product of who I am. And if it's small, so am I. You know what I mean? Like, I think people have a wrong like idea of like what the life I'm in. I think because sometimes I read stuff, I'm just like, wow, dude, like. That's heavy. But again, you can't like, I can't change everyone's minds or perspective on me. There's always going to be something said about this guy or that guy, or whatever. But
of course.
In the day, that's why this podcast is here. I really wanted to do it and like speak my mind, you know, and not hopefully offend people, especially my former employer. But at the end of the day, that's the reason why, you know, like I want to speak the truth. The reason why is financial and debts and shit needs to get paid. And if you're not getting paid, then why are you working? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's who goes to work and not get paid? You quit. You're like, no, fuck this. I'm not going to work, dude. Like, why am I even here? Why even working? And when you start questioning those things at my age, you got to find something else to do. You know what I mean? Like, anyway. Sorry, I think I'm rambling again. Huh?
No, this was great, John. Thank you so much for doing it.
I appreciate it.
I loved every minute of it, and best of luck at Winter Clash. And I'm sure this is going to be a success. It feels like an exciting new chapter for rollerblading for you.
Okay. Just thank you guys again, and thank everybody else who's ever like even like pointed in my direction and said, yeah, that's something I'm true with, you know, that I can, whether it be Valo or Blading Cup or anything that I've done, you know, because this is it, you know. Like after this, it is what it is. Anyway, thank you for the opportunity.
Yeah, thanks a lot, John.
Thank you, John.
Appreciate it. We'll keep you posted.
Peace.
Have a great night.
Yeah. You too. Good night, guys.
Good night.
Bye.